Over the last few years, I've really gotten into loafers, all sorts of loafers, penny loafers, bit loafers, you name it. So when Jay Butler contacted me to see if I wanted to try out a pair of their loafers, I hopped at the chance. I have no experience with the company before now, and given their price range in that sort of 170 to 230, there's a lot of loafers there, a lot of great loafers there. So I figured it'd be awesome to expand my horizons and let you guys know what I thought about them. So if you are interested in hearing more, please stick around. I'm Patrick, and this is Rocky Mountain Style. Jay Butler was founded in 2014 by this guy, Justin Jeffers. He's a self-diagnosed loafer addict and decided he wanted to start his own loafer company. Now, I think that's pretty cool when people do that, so, best to him. That dream came to fruition in 2014 for him with the launch of Jay Butler. Now, that particular name he chose because it was a mashup of the first and last name from his two grandfathers, so kind of a nice etymology there. Currently, Jay Butler has 3 styles of loafer on offer: the Millbank, which I have here in dark brown leather with a silver bit, the Cromwell, which is a classic penny loafer, and a tie loafer called the Shipley. Each style can, of course, be had in several different leather options. In addition to those, there's 2 driving style loafers on offer. Those are a recent product launch. Those are called the Barkley and the Alfred. Now, I have no experience with driving loafers, but maybe in the future. And given Jay Butler's pricing right in that $229 area for their regular loafers with regular leather, to me, after looking at the market and based on what I know, I think their 2 closest competitors are probably Meerman and Beckett-Simonon. So if you have experience with those loafers, or if you're shopping around and those were on your list, perhaps consider adding Jay Butler to the list as well, because I think they line up fairly well, as you'll see after I start talking a little more about the details. The Millbank loafer utilizes a hand-sewn full-grain leather upper and then also a full leather sole, of course. It can be resold due to the fact that Jay Butler opts for a Blake-stitched construction. Now, if you're familiar with the construction methods, this will be a refresher, but for those of you who aren't, the Blake stitch method lends itself to sort of a sleeker, more elegant shape. It's generally more flexible and lighter than a Goodyear welted shoe. It's really common in the loafer and dress shoe space, even at the high ends. So one downside perhaps people say, which I'm not sure if this is really a relevant concern in modern day, but less water resistance with a Blake stitch than a Goodyear welt. But your mileage may vary. Before moving on to talking about the fit of the loafer, real quick, I wanted to show you this chart that I made. So when I first pulled these out of the box, and you can see when if you want to stick around for the unboxing that's tacked on to the very end of this video, but I noticed how light these loafers were. And as soon as I held them, I knew they were the lightest loafer that I'd ever had, but I didn't know how light. So I pulled out the trusty kitchen scale and weighed one type of all the different brands of loafers I had, and then 2 other pairs of sneakers, just in addition to sort of, show you where those might fit on the continuum, and you get this chart here. So of course, the right column is showing how much more each of the loafers above the Millbank weighs. But if you're looking for something that's light and easy to wear, that's, as you break it in, it's become more and more flexible. If those are top priorities for you, then really Jay Butler should be something you need to be giving a try. I mean, and the numbers don't lie, as I like to say. Okay, let's talk about the fit of the loafers now. So on the Brannick device, I'm a 10.5 from heel to toe and a 10 from heel to ball, both with a D width. So I got these in a 10D. Most of the time, if I go with a 10D in something, it's generally correct. Sometimes I go down to a 9.5. Rarely am I actually up in a 10.5, since most well-made shoes are half size to a size down. But I digress. So 10D is indeed the right size. They were really comfortable right from the get-go. As soon as I put them on, I knew they were the right size. There's no pinching anywhere. There's, even though they do seem a little bit narrow, or the toe box is kind of small, there's actually plenty of room, up there for my toes to move around. There's no heel slip really to speak of. I mean, all loafers, really anything without laces, is going to have some amount of heel slip, but no more than you would expect from a pair of shoes that fits the right way. The only one minor thing, and I think it's mostly based on the shape of my foot, I have a little bit of a bump out in the side of my foot right about here. So when I wear them and I walk, they sort of splay out a little more than you would expect. And all sort of traditional mock construction style shoes like this, whether it's a loafer or driving shoe or anything, they're going to have that sort of bowing out here. You know, so it's not really that big of a deal. You just sort of have to get used to how it looks top down. You know, really not a problem at all. So fit wise, I would recommend going down a half size from your Brannick, giving that a try if you're a normal D width. They do offer some double E widths. I, of course, have not tried one of those out. So perhaps if I get another loafer in the future, maybe I'll try a 9.5E. But if you're concerned about the fit, definitely shoot their customer service an email and see what they think about it. But yeah, the lightweightness is pretty amazing. So one other thing in the fit category that I want to talk about, which at least is rare in my experience, is the fact that when, so if you buy a pair of loafers, a lot of times I find I either consider them to be one that I want to wear with socks or one that I want to wear primarily without socks. So generally, if it's going to be a summer loafer, I'm like, oh, well, I'm really only going to wear these without socks, so I want to optimize my fit for that. An example of that is a pair of coral or sort of pink suede loafers I have from Grant Stone, which I pretty much only wear in the summer if I'm on vacation, things like that. So I wanted to optimize that fit to go sockless, you know, walking down the boardwalk or whatever it happened to be. So with these, they fit somehow equally well with or without socks. I generally find that if I optimize for sockless, they're too tight with socks, or if I optimize for socks, they are too loose when you go sockless. And I always just thought that was the natural order of the world. Well, maybe it's just a quirk of my own foot or how they make these, but they seem to feel identical with and without socks as far as like how tight they are and how they fit. So that's pretty cool. So if you like to go back and forth, you know, perhaps, you know, that would be something you might put high on your list, and these would hit that mark for you. So just one little quirk that I wanted to mention. All right, so as we wrap up here and before we get into the unboxing, if you want to stay for that, I wanted to say a few more things about these. So my initial impressions were good. It's a very light loafer. The leather smelled great. It's really uniform. There were no QC issues at all, as you can see in the unboxing video. So high marks, I think, for quality and construction. So I didn't mention earlier like I meant to, but these are made in Leon, Mexico, like many different shoes and boots. You know, Thursday Boots, famously, probably the biggest maker there now. I think Tecovas, Chisos, a bunch of Western companies make their boots and shoes there, and probably, you know, 30 others that I could mention or that you could look up. But a good history of shoemaking in Leon, Mexico. So good construction there for good price shoes. One other thing, oh yeah, okay, I forgot to mention this earlier. So on their website, they mentioned the fact that the vamp is a bit shorter than average. So essentially what that does is it exposes more of your foot right here, you know, more of the, I guess, the instep part of your foot. So if you're wearing socks with a cool pattern, you're going to be showing off more of that pattern, or if you're wearing sockless, you're going to be showing, you know, more of your actual foot. So that could be a negative for you if you don't like that. You can see in some of these photos I'm showing, just all the different loafers I have, you can see the top-down view and sort of see the difference. It's not stark, but as soon as you put it on, you can kind of tell that your foot's a little more out there than normal. So I wanted to mention that. All right, so let's talk about price. So $229 for a handmade loafer with, you know, full grain construction, leather lined, with a traditional construction method like a Blake stitch. You know, not made in China, which I guess these days, you know, things are getting a little bit more iffy with that kind of stuff, but we're not going to get into that. But I think $229 is a fair price for these. If it's your first purchase, you know, there'll be a little pop-up on the website. You can get 10% off and get that down closer to $200. But even so, like if you want a pair of high-quality footwear made out of, you know, I haven't cut them apart, but I'm sure there's probably, you know, some foam or maybe a piece of something or another in there at this price point. But generally speaking, if you want a natural product that can be resold, recrafted, grow with you with time, yeah, give these a try. You know, with loafers, fit is always king. So naturally, people have different feet and different brands are going to give, you know, different fits to different people. So that's why I like to have so many. I like to try out a lot of different brands, find what works for me, what doesn't work for me, as I sort of get closer and closer to my perfect loafer. So these ones for something that's light and you could throw on, easy just to walk around town or something like that. Definitely, these are going to get a lot of wear as the weather warms up. So I've only got to wear them about 3 times. You can see the scuffing on the bottom because it is, February or was January here in Colorado. So I don't wear a lot of loafers around that time, especially leather-soled ones when there's, melting snow or standing snow and ice. I'm just kind of rambling now as I do. You guys are used to that by now. But if you have any, that was probably pretty loud in the mic. If you have any specific questions about these, you know the drill, please leave a comment below and I will answer. So thanks for your time. If you want to see the unboxing, stick around and there it is. We'll see you next time, guys. All right, welcome to the unboxing portion. Let's get right into it. Jay Butler, Shoes and Leather Goods. Journeys with Jay. Right. All right, there we go. Box with big logo. And then we have there the dark brown Millbank bit loafer with the silver bit. I have a pair of natural chrome excel loafers from Oak Street with gold bit. So this is my first one with a silver bit. Oh, we got a little card. Ooh, it can smell the leather right when I open the box. I always like that. So a little bit of a card for social media. I'll make sure to do that. Justin Jeffers there, the founder and creative director. Very cool. So the shoe lover. I wonder if that's Justin. And then, yeah, something about trying your shoes on. Yeah, the loafers should fit snugly around the toes and ball of the foot. Minimal movement. Yeah, leather soles can be slick. That's true. Don't sweat breaking them in. After a few wears, they should conform to your foot. Yeah, so basically just letting you know, if you're not, I guess, experienced with loafers, sort of what to expect. So that's very nice. All right, so it looks like we have a logoed shoe bag. Cool. And yeah, I wish you guys could smell it. The leather smell was apparent right when they came out of the box, right when I opened the box. Cool. All right, they're very light, which is what you expect with a Blake stitched shoe. And you can see a very thin, so probably very flexible sole there, outsole. Nicely done. So you can see the stitching there. Nice, big, thick stitching. Stitching looks really well done. Yeah, cool. Yep, size 10. Jay Butler stamped on the bottom there. Embossed? No, that's not embossed. We'll just call it stamped. Close look at the heel stack real quick. Got a little notch there, which helps you not get caught on things. Yep. Plain sort of rubber half top lift there, leather there. You can see there. So you got 2 layers of leather. Of course, that one right there is the outsole that extends to the front, and then one more. So yeah, kind of a smaller heel than a lot. But yeah, the color, as you can probably tell here, maybe even in some lights might even look black. A very dark brown, which is exactly what I wanted. Bits look pretty nice. Some close up at the stitching work on the leather there on this right shoe, which is the first one we're looking at. Everything looks good. True moccasin construction, as I'm sure I mentioned in the beginning part of the video. Yeah, let's take this guy out. As you can see there, we got a pretty generous little support there. Pretty stiff, so that'll probably give some good support. So that's one of those things, probably either love it or hate it, depending on what your foot does. So at this point in the video, you already know what I think about it, since I'm putting this at the back. But yeah, fully leather lined. Very cool. Yeah, I can look down in there. Hard to see from there, but yeah, you can definitely tell the whole sort of outer piece is one piece of leather, given the moccasin construction where the leather goes, underneath. And then the sole is attached, stitched down through on the sides, through there, just right there, and that's what your Blake stitch is. Yeah, I don't see any issues at all. Leather looks flawless. All right, let's look at the other one. Oh, very cool. a little, got a little shoehorn. Plastic, thin, but plenty big. Stick down there, reach it in. Good deal. Sort of a la Grant Stone. Having a shoehorn included in something like this is nice to keep people from crushing the back. All right, so left shoe here. We'll do a quick look, see if we see any issues. Don't see anything at first glance. Leather looks nice and smooth and uniform. Smells very good. Excuse me. Smells like nice leather, which for a lot of us in this space, we love that smell of leather, don't we? Stitching on this one also looks perfect. So, yeah, everything looks good. I see, good QC right out of the box. So there you go. There's the Millbank Jay Butler. And you already watched the beginning. If you watched the unboxing also, I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time today, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.